Hello everybody, so today we're going to do a 45 to 50 minute flow doing all things Pincha Flow. Essentially we're going to be on our forearms today. Feel free to rest it as much as you need to. And we'll be working a lot of strength building core, working into being on our forearms and eventually working towards taking our forearm to wheel and then a little back and forth from wheel back to our forearm stand and down. So let's come to child's pose to get started. So we'll come to child's pose. And if you like to separate the knees a lot, go for it. You can do either way. I'm going to start with my knees all the way together. I'm going to lower my forehead down, bring my hands all the way back. And just take a couple breaths. Feeling the length in the sacrum, the spine. And then slowly start to reach the fingers forward. Separate the knees a little bit wider and bring the forehead down. Take a couple more breaths here. And then let's walk the fingertips over to the right. Just a little bit of stretch on the left waist, that outer left hip. And let's take it back to the center, stretch over to the left. Same thing, feeling that outer right hip. And then let's take it all the way back to the center. Open the chest a little bit, bring the arms all the way forward, come onto the fingertips, the chest, the chin. It might feel easier to separate the knees a little bit wider. And then let's slide the elbows back. Now from here, go ahead and step your left foot back and then the right foot back, holding that forearm plank. Steady the breath, try not to hold the breath. Pull the belly all the way in. Stay here, a couple more breaths. And from here, let's walk the feet in towards the hands very slowly. You'll really start to feel at the back of the legs. And let's start to pedal out the feet. Let's bend the left leg and then switch. Bending the right. Switch again, left. And switch. Couple more. Now let's separate the feet just a little bit wider. And then try to press the shoulders open, looking back between the toes. And then slowly start looking forward towards your thumbs. Drive the chin forward. And then shift back. Again, shift the chin all the way forward. Shift it back. Shift forward. Two more. And forward and all the way back. Go ahead and drop the knees for a few breaths. Sit all the way back. Child's pose. Let's bring the hands all the way back. All right, taking a little bit of a counter stretch. So open the heart, sit up on the knees. Let's take the hands behind the hips. Start to lift the hips forward. Walk the hands in. And then release the hips, coming to the hands and the knees. And let's take the right arm all the way up, open the shoulder. We'll take the right shoulder all the way under, little twist. Maybe take the hand in the crease of the hip. And then shift back, right arm back up. Let's take the second arm up. And then slowly slide the shoulder under, little twist. And bring that right hand to the crease of the hip. Try to look up at the ceiling. And then release back up with the left arm. And pause. Now slowly slide the hand all the way back to forearm plank position again. Step the feet back. Breathe. Now let's take the feet as close together as you can. Squeeze the belly. We're going to rotate the heels to the left. And then shift, rotate the heels to the right. Keeping the elbows down, shift to the left, and then shift to the right. Couple more, left and right. Pause on the right side, start to lift the left arm. Reach the top arm over the ear. Keep lifting that bottom hip. And then come back to the center. Let's rotate to the left. Keep the elbows down. Shift back to the right. Back to the left. Back to the right. Stay on the left side. Start to reach the right arm up. Pull the belly in. Lift that bottom hip. Reach the top arm up. All the way over the ear. And bring the elbow back down. Square it off. Let's walk the toes in, continuing to stretch the back of the legs. Scoop out the belly. And then walk it in even further. And then step it back. All the way back out to forearm plank. This time we're gonna lower the hips. Think Sphinx pose. And then gently release the arms all the way forward. Straighten the legs. Forehead down. Let's take the hands behind the low back, lace up the fingers, open the chest. Squeeze the butt, lift the legs. And then release. Again, scoop it up. Lift the legs, squeeze, this time bend the knees. We'll reach back, find the ankles. Lift the chest and then rest. Right ear to the floor. Again, forehead down, scoop up, lift, and then left ear to the floor. Again, scoop all the way up, lift as high as you can go. And then release the legs, release the arms forward, squeeze. And let's slide the elbows all the way back. For Sphinx pose, let's bend the right knee. Reach back for the inside of the right foot. Let's take the fingers and hook the thumb and the forefinger right into the toe. Reach and see if you can take the fingers forward. Gaze forward, eventually start to straighten into that left arm. And then release, second side. Reaching back for the left foot. See if you can rotate the shoulder and the fingers. Looking forward, try to press into that right arm. Look up. And then slowly release. Bring the elbows back down. Go ahead and tuck the toes, scoop out the belly. Squeeze everything, lift the right leg up. Now pull the knee into the nose. Send it back. Take that knee all the way up to the right. Send it back. Knee to the left, twist. Send it back. One more time, knee in, nose. Shoot it back, pause, plank. Right heel down, rotate to the right, left arm up. Find a little balance, start to pull the left leg up. Top arm over the ear. Now elbow to knee, 1, reach it back. 2, find balance, 3, 4, last one, option for grabbing the toe or just hold the knee. If you're feeling that toe grab, go for it. If it's too intense, skip it. And then release the foot behind. So I basically caught my fall, so it's okay. Wild thing, open that left shoulder. All right, and then shift back to forearm plank. Pause. Let's walk the toes in. Scoop out the belly. And let's do 5 shifts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This time right leg lifts, bend the left knee. We're gonna take little hops. Don't worry about holding the shape. Just start to find a little hop, squeezing the butt of the top leg. Couple more times. Keep it going. I need to shift my camera. There. So we're doing right leg hops. So as many as you can. Let's shoot for a couple more. Kick, kick, use the wall if you need it. And last one, if you can hold it, wonderful. If it's too much to hold, rest. And then come all the way down, drop the knees, sink back, child's pose, rest. Slowly sit up. Let's take another counter stretch. Reach the hands back behind you. I'm going to extend my left arm up and over. Come down, second side. Left hand behind the hips. Reach the right hip forward and right shoulder. Shift down. Second side. Reach the left. And other side. Right arm up. And all the way down. Pause. Let's take the elbows all the way back down. Maybe a little child's pose stretch first. Maybe open the chest. And then come back to those elbows. And then send the legs back. Squeeze everything. Take the left leg up. Pull the belly in. Knee to nose round. Send it back. Knee to the left. Send it back, squeeze, twist. Send it back, knee to the nose, hold. Shoot it back. Now rotate to the left. Find your stack, heel upon heel, toe upon toe. Start to reach the right arm up. Top arm over the ear. Now start to pull the knee into the elbow for one. Send it back. 2, breathe, 3, 2 more, 4, last one, 5, hold. Option to straighten the legs. You do not have to grab the toe. Pretty intense. And then release the foot behind for wild thing. Try to lift that hip a little bit higher. Reach the arm over the ear. And then shift back, bring that elbow back down. Breathe. Squeeze, and let's walk the feet in, all the way in. Take 3 breaths, stretching the back of the legs. Now let's shift forward. 1, chin forward. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Left leg lifts. If you need to rest before you kick, rest. Left leg kicks, and try for 5 to 7 little kicks. 2, use the wall if you need it. 3, couple more. 4, maybe try to hold that last one. Shift, squeeze. And then release, drop the knees. Give the arms a little rest. My shoulders are burning. Let's take a moment to sit all the way up. This time, let's take a Virasana. So sit between the knees. And let's just come all the way back to the elbows. Get a little rest. If you like to come to the back, come all the way down. Maybe reach the arms over. Whatever you like to do with the arms. And then take your time coming up, shifting back up, shifting forward, pausing on the hands and the knees. Let's do a little cat-cow. Inhale, open the shoulder. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, hollow. And then one more time, shift, open the chest. And hollow. Now let's shift the hips all the way forward. Let the knees bend. Let the hips kind of swivel. All right, releasing the hips. And then shift it back. Opening chest again. Arms forward. One more time, round, shift forward, let the hips fall forward. And then shift it back. Shoulders opening. Whew. And then come all the way back. Coming back down to the elbows. Take a breath and get ready to extend the right leg back, extend the left. Squeeze the belly in, squeeze the tailbone. Rotate all the way over to the right. Start to lift the left arm. Take a moment, breathe. Now take the left hand next to the right elbow. We're gonna straighten the arm for Big Brother Vashisthasana. So now we're going Big Brother, straighten that left arm, reach it up and over. See if you can lift that right leg a couple times. Maybe even grab a toe. Don't have to. Release the foot, let's bend the knee. Pause, and then straighten the leg. Now come down to the elbow on the right side again. Pause, left arm reaching up. Whew. Pull that knee in. Pause this time. Now let's do 4 more. Knee in, 2, 3, scoop that belly in, 4, 5. Pause, left hand down again, twist, Big Brother, reach, and just stay here, don't make any shape, just stay still. Now let's go right arm down. So stay with the arms straight, rotate over. Top arm over the ear, stretch. And now let's go left elbow down. Square it off. Breathe. Stay there. Now right elbow down. Twist. Now both elbows down, square it off. Shift back to dolphin. Now, getting ready to kick up again, little hops. Bend the left knee, kick. This time, once you're up, see if you can shift and switch legs a few times. Like little scissor kicks once you're up. Find that balance, use the wall if you need it. And then shift down, drop the knees, take a little rest. Whew. Let's do that again. Elbows down, use the wall if you need it, get prepared, right leg up. Scoop out the belly, and little kicks. Let's take a few hops to get up. And then once you're up, we're gonna do scissor switches. 1, 2, 3, let's do 2 more, 4, and 5. Come all the way down and rest. Shift it back. Woo. Sit all the way up for a moment. Let's lace up the hands behind the low back, open the chest. Fold in, crown of the head down, little stretch. Woo. And then slowly reach back up. Bringing the elbows back down. Let's send the left leg back. Send the right leg back. Squeeze everything. Now rotate to the left. Reach the right arm up. Stay there and breathe. Lift the bottom hip. Right hand down, straighten that right arm as you twist to Big Brother Vashi. Now left hand down, twist for Big Brother Vashisthasana. Right arm up. Option to play with the leg if you want. Anything you like for a few breaths. Now go back to that right elbow. Twist, stretch. And then back to the left. elbow, right arm, left arm, forearm plank. Breathe. Top arm can be over the ear. Both elbows down, pause, squeeze. Walk the feet in, stretching the back of the legs. Left leg reaches up. Now let's take 5 hops. Use the wall if you need it. Taking little hops. Once you're up there, we're gonna start little switches. Scissor switches when you're up. Try to get 5 if you can or more. And then shift back down. Drop the knees, take child's pose. Rest. Slowly sit all the way up. Take a moment here, close the eyes. Let's just gently place the hands on the knees. All right, catching our breath. And let's plant the palms. Go ahead and tuck the toes under. Let's come to a regular downward facing. Feels weird to do that. All right, and then shift all the way forward into plank. And then shift back to downward facing. A couple more, shift to plank. And then shift back, downward facing. Now look forward, stay right there. We're gonna bend the knees a little bit and try to hover the elbows a little bit. Little hover. And then lower the elbows all the way to the ground. Now look forward. Try to straighten the arms, shift, take it to chaturanga. And then press back and slowly try to lower both elbows, hover for a few breaths. And then lower the elbows. Bend the knees a little bit, look forward, straighten the arms, squeeze the belly, lower chaturanga. Press back, hover those arms above the floor, and then lower. Look back at the toes. Let's do one more. Look forward, start to bend the knees, shoot it forward, squeeze, chaturanga. Press back up. Don't let the elbows touch the floor, hover. Just above the floor, a little bend in the knees, and then drop the elbows. Try to drop them at the same time. Now drop the knees, take a little rest. Woo. And sit up for a moment. So that move is called the turbo dog, and it really helps fire up the triceps for Pincha Flow. All right, so let's come to downward facing. Deep stretch in the low back. And we're gonna take a nice deep inhale, lift those heels, bend the knees, and we're going to jump or float to the top of the mat. So bend the knees, jump or float to the top of the mat. And fold in. And then scoop and rise all the way up to standing. And then pull the hands into the heart. Standing up for a little bit, arms reach. Open the heart, let's fold in. Rise up, plant the palms. We're gonna roll up to the tippy toes, look forward. Take it back to chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing. Pause here. Now slowly shift. Let's go back to chaturanga. Hold. Plank. And then downward facing dog. Look back between the toes. All right, let's float up again. Heels lift, bend those knees. Float or fly to the top of the mat. Maybe take a couple little hops. Keep those arms straight. You can go upside down if you like or not. All right, when you reach the top of the mat, you'll fold. Tiny bend in the knees, rise up. Hands come into the heart. Again, arms reach up. Open the chest. fold. Rise up, plant the palms. We're gonna roll all the way up to the tippy toes. Lean forward, chaturanga. Upward facing. Pause here. Let's take it back, belly in, chaturanga. Plank, downward facing. So let's just do one more traditional Surya A. Again, lift, bend those knees, float it up. Take your time. You're welcome to float all the way up, inverted if it feels right. Again, not required. And let's float all the way down to the top of the mat. Let's separate our feet, stretch the wrists, fold all the way in. And then release the hands. And then come up to standing, squeeze everything, hands to the heart. Now let's sink into chair pose. Come all the way down to the heels. Take 2 breaths on the heels before you go to the tailbone. And then gently lower to the tailbone, take Navasana. Lower all the way down. Exhale, 1. Lower down, exhale, 2. 3. 2 more, 4, last one, 5. Bring the heels all the way and shift the weight. Stay right there, roll all the way up to the toes. Take a little balance. Bring the hands to the heart. Gently roll forward onto the knees. Pause here. Let's reach back for the right heel. Stretching the left shoulder. Switch sides. Left heel, and switch sides, right heel. Shift up one more time, left heel reaching, and back. All right, this time we're going for both heels. Hips forward, head back. And then shift all the way forward, reach up. Now roll back to the toes. Scoop. Stay right here, breathe. And then drop all the way down to the heels. Shift to the booty. Now we're gonna scoot the butt forward. We're gonna roll all the way down to the tailbone. Lying on the back for a few breaths, scoop up the hips. Slide the shoulders underneath. Snuggle them, and feel the length. Drop the hips, and then scoop up again. Again, drop, squeeze and scoop. One more, and lift. This time we're gonna release the hands. Try to find the heels with the hands. Reach the arms overhead, drop the hips. Little counter stretch. We're gonna squeeze the knees into the chest. Maybe take the nose to the knee. And relax back. Another little counter stretch. Let's take the outside of the feet. And just gently rock side to side in happy baby. Maybe straighten the legs, depending on how that feels. And back to happy baby. And let's release the heels to the floor. We're gonna take the hands by the ears, lift to the crown of the head, take a little rest here. Try to slide the hands around the back of the head. If you have space, hopefully you can lace up the fingers. Take 5 breaths here. Deep breaths. It's hard to breathe in this position. See if you can start walking the feet out just a little bit. Maybe bring the elbows a smidgen close together. Maybe straighten the legs. Maybe see if you can lift the head a little bit more. And And maybe even start to bring the chin through. All right, let's shift to the back. 5 breaths, rest. That pose is very intense on the shoulders and the spine. Maybe let's take a Supta Baddha comb. Bring the feet together, knees apart. All right, bring the heels back down next to the tailbone. Start to scoop the hips up again. We'll start by holding the ankles. And then gently reach the arms overhead. Stay there, keep lifting the hips. Hands by the ears, drop the hips for a breath. Now lift onto the crown of the head. Again, see if you can lace up the hands around the back of the head, elbows on the floor. Once there, see if you can slide the elbows a little closer together. Now see if you can start to lift the head. Maybe even start pressing the chin to the chest, or pulling, I should say, or reaching. Take your time here. You can let the head rest. And try again. Keep sending the chest through. Eventually try straightening the legs. Stay in it. If you need to rest, rest. And come down. 5 to 7 breaths, just letting everything go. Go ahead and release the heels. Let the knees flop out. Start to pull the knees into the chest again. Squeeze. And gentle rock side to side. Maybe start to reach the legs up. Find the outside of those heels. Think happy baby stretching. Maybe straighten the legs. Back to regular happy baby. Pause, feet to the floor. Now, see if you can take the fingers down by the hips. We're gonna slowly start to scoop the hips up. Little by little lift, and then take it down. Couple more of these. Ready? Scoop up, use the fingers, push the hips up. Again, lower. All right, tap the toes to the floor, and scoop it up again. Maybe the knees can tap the forehead. Lower back down, tap the toes. Again, scoop up. Knees to forehead, maybe tap. And then scoop down. Let's straighten the legs for a moment. Now reach for the big toes and try to lift the hips. Take an inhale. Exhale, rock the weight all the way up. Getting a little momentum. Let's do a couple more of these. Inhale back. Exhale, lift. Inhale back. Exhale, lift. 2 more. Inhale back. Exhale, lift. And then back. Exhale, lift. Let's release the legs, bring them all the way together. And then squeeze the knees at the top. Bring the hands all the way back behind you. Let's do a little modified Purvottanasana, hips up, head back. And then let's drive the hips through the arms, flex the feet. Again, lift up. Exhale, hips through the arms, 2. And last one. Release the hips to the floor. Inhale, arms reach. Reach all the way forward, stretching the back of the legs and the spine. And then let's cross the ankles, shift all the way forward, rolling back over onto those elbows. Now we're gonna tuck the toes, scoop it up and back. Bring the feet in, lift the right leg, bend that left knee, kick it up. Couple times, find that shape, use the wall. Once you're up, try to squeeze the butt, legs together if you can. Now we're gonna start little half scorpion shapes or half double stag. So look forward, switch, and just try to continue to switch. Bending that top leg over, switch. Keep switching, looking forward, double stag, switch. Maybe those last two, you can go a little deeper. And then switch. Come all the way down. Drop the knees, take a little rest. Woo. Woo. Slowly sit up for a moment. Reach the arms up. And pause. All right, let's go second side. Bring those elbows down. Let's tuck the toes. Scoop out the belly, left leg lifting. Look forward. Let's bend just the right knee. That left leg kicks over. Try a couple little hops. Use the wall if you need it. Start to bend both legs. Think double stag. All right, and then try to shift and switch. Stretch it open. Double stag. So this starts to work into a little bit of a back bend shape, so you will look forward. Try to reach the chest and gaze up, and then switch down. Dropping the knees, take rest. Woo. Slowly sit up for a moment. Let's take the right arm in front of the left, stretching the shoulders a little bit, reaching the arms up. All right, shake it out, switch sides, left in front. Reach. And then shake it out. Pause for a moment, hands to the knees, close the eyes. All right, so we've done scissor switches, we've done some little double stag switches. So now let's work a couple extra little shapes in forearm stand, and then eventually we're gonna build up to be able to go over. Forearm stand to wheel is going to be our culmination pose, but we're gonna start working from the back bend, and then if you guys wanna use like a couch or a apparatus, you know, like a Bosu ball or something to help with that, that will be our final. So let's go back up and try working bent knees. So we're gonna curl up, find lots of rounding in the core, pulling the knees into the chest. All right, so we're gonna start there. So I'm bringing my forearms down, tucking the toes under. Take your time with the kicks. Right leg first, you're gonna bend the left knee. Again, it doesn't have to go on the first try, right? Bend the knee and squeeze the butt as you lift up. Pause there, look forward. Now see if you can start bending the knees. Find a little balance. Maybe pull the knees towards the chest. Keep the ankles touching. Looking forward. Breathe. Pulling those knees in. And then release down. Take a little rest. So the final, eventually you'll get so strong there, you'll be able to curl the knees all the way in and land in baby bakasana. And if you want, you guys, we could practice that today, and we could try it. All right, only if it feels right. So let's do the second side. Ready? Elbows down. Go ahead and tuck the toes, left leg lifting up. Remember, it doesn't matter if you get up on the first kick. Go for it, kicking up. Breathe, try a couple hops. Squeezing that top leg, just as if you were in a handstand. Once you get up, see if you can start bending the knees, ankles touching, toes touching, and try to pull the knees in together. Squeeze. Letting the butt kind of melt back overhead. Maybe squeeze back to the top. And then release all the way down. Little child's pose, rest. Woo. And then take it up. All right, so now we're resting. You guys can either repeat that same sequence we just did, or we can start working, curling the knees down, trying to land them on the back of the elbows. It's really tight, so you have to really squeeze and curl like a ball. Let's give it a try, all right? So elbows down, start to curl up, squeeze. Now right leg lifts, bend the left knee. Make sure you're gazing forward at the thumbs. Squeeze everything up. Now start to bend the knees. You can have them behind you a little bit first, and then curl them in, okay? This is tricky. Look forward towards the thumbs. Separate your knees a little bit. And rounding in the low back. And then you shift all the way down. Curl those toes up. And then either drop down like I did or shoot the feet back. Doesn't matter. Woo, take a little rest. It's intense, very intense. The baby back. All right, so now we're gonna try the second side. Again, feel free to skip this if it's not feeling ready, or even just start little baby half lowers, you know? Try to get kind of halfway there. Nice. All right, let's do one more, switching sides. Strong arms, tucking those toes. We're gonna start lifting the left leg. Remember, little hops, bend the right knee, kick. Squeeze it up, looking forward. Start to bend the knees, and then curl the knees in. Sending the butt overhead, start to separate the knees. The gaze is towards the thumbs. Rounding in the back. And once you land, try to curl the toes up. And then shift down. I would say shoot it back to chaturanga, because you really could stub your knee or toes. It could be really painful. Okay? Take a little rest or stretch those wrists. I'm going to stretch my wrists a little bit this time. Turning my fingers back, a little rounding. Now shake out the wrists. Whew. All right, now we're gonna start with little, you know what, now let's go back to our back bend and find that either block or bozu or something you're gonna kick off of, and we'll practice a little bit of a kick over. I'm gonna use these blocks. My bozu's outside. I'm gonna use these blocks here, so you guys can use what feels best for you. All right, so I'm gonna shift, put my feet on either my blocks. I'm gonna scoop back onto my back, start to scoop and lift the hips up, okay? Pause here. Now I'm gonna slide back just a little bit. Breathe, catch your breath. Now I'm dropping the butt, hands by the ears. I'm gonna start to scoop up the hips. Now let's come on to the elbows. You can either go to wheel first, like I did, or you can just lift onto the crown of the head. It doesn't matter. Try lacing the hands around the back of the head. All right, now figure out where your feet are.
Now you might be too far away. I just noticed that I'm a little far from my feet, so you really want to tighten up that wheel. All right, now start to lift the leg. See if you can send the chest through, chin through as well. And then switch. Practice this, little switches. Push the chest open, pull that knee up. And really get those shoulders to push. All right, bring it back up. Now look through like scorpion. Look to your hands and give that foot a little hop. Find the balance maybe once you're up. Squeeze. And then release all the way down to the floor. Remember where you're at in space. So try not to move the elbows. All right. And then we're gonna practice doing here's my suggestion. So if you guys are in the middle of it, go for it. Otherwise, take your blocks and stack them up. You can even do like 3 blocks as a stack. All right, and then I'm gonna try to kick over and sort of gently tap one of my toes to the block. And if you're like, you know what, I need 5 blocks, do 5 blocks. All right, so I'm gonna start with 2. All right, so you can either lace up the hands if you like or separate them. Have your little block stack. Remember where you were when you kicked over, so try not to go too far away from the block. So keep that same spot. Now start to tuck the toes. Pick your leg that you know you like first. Shift the weight up. Now start to move into that double stack position. One foot is really tucked. All right? Now push into the shoulders. Keep looking forward and let that foot tap that block stack. All right? And then shift back to the ground. Take a little rest, but don't move the elbows, because that is the spot that you know works best for your spine. You know what I mean, for the distance, I should say. So let's try that again. So spread those fingers, little rounding in the back, scoop, bring that leg up, the one you like, shift the weight, bend the opposite knee, little hop, start that double stack, make sure you're looking forward. Reach the toe towards the block stack. Tap it. Look forward. Maybe bend that other knee in a little bit more. And then kick back. And you did it! Woo! All right, let's switch sides. One side's 10 times easier than the other, as we all know. So let's switch sides. All right, here we go. Opposite leg, the one you hate. Bend the knee on the ground, kick it up. Squeeze that leg. Look forward. Think scorpion. Melt the heart. Look for that block stack. Make sure you're looking forward. Find that block stack. You can drop the gaze at this point if it feels better. Look forward and shift off. Ooh, I would say shake out those wrists. Oh, I shouldn't be making that noise. All right, let's do one more. On the bad leg, okay? So shifting down. I mean, you may not have a bad leg. Shift forward, figure out where the hands need to be. Tuck the toes, right leg lifts, or whichever leg you're doing, kick and squeeze up. Think half scorpion, make sure you're looking forward. Reach. Tap the toes on the block. You can drop the gaze. And then kick back, give a little kick. Woo! Now you might be thinking in your head, I am not ready for any of this. Sorry, I appreciate it, but you know, I'm not ready. So save this for later, try it another time when you feel ready, or use the couch, use the blocks, use whatever you need to use. All right, so I'm gonna set my blocks aside, and I'm gonna come from the wheel first, get tight in that wheel, kick over, and then back. and get pretty comfy. So I'm gonna come, oh, and also too, I wanted to point out, we haven't done the kick over part, so let's grab the blocks. I'm sorry for that one. So we're gonna use the blocks to kick with that. So come onto your back, lie flat. You can bring your feet on the blocks if you like, you can scoop up. Or my suggestion is don't use the blocks to lift up, just bring them on later. All right, so hands down, lift onto the crown of the head, hands around the head. Let's lace up the fingers. Open the chest. And then find the stack of blocks. And figure out if you're too far away. Yeah, I just realized I'm a little far. So I'm gonna walk in a lot closer. You really wanna tighten up that wheel. Get close, get really close to your block set or couch or whatever you're using. So bring the blocks on, foot on the block, pull one knee up, make sure you're looking through towards the block. And then push off that block and shift over. Come bring the leg down, rest. And let's go again, lift the leg. We're gonna shift in the opposite direction. Make sure you're looking up towards your block. Bring the toe down. This time you can bring the other leg over, just bring them to the floor. You can even rest the head. All right, let's try it again. Switch sides if you like. Put the foot on, lift the knee. Start to look forward, push all the way over. Give it a little kick. And let's come all the way down. The shoulders are probably burning. And a little rest. Woo! Nice work. So if you're still in that, you please stay. I'm gonna set the blocks aside. Give my shoulders a little relief. So I'm gonna come down into child's pose first. Let's come to our spine. Relax back. And pull the knees into the chest. Little squeeze. Let's get a little twist to the left. Oh. Whew. Twist to the right. Little happy baby stretch. Reach down for the outside of the feet. Maybe release the left leg. Keep the right leg in half, happy baby. And switch. And bringing both back, let's straighten the legs, stretching the hips. And then take the fingers next to the hips. We're gonna scoop the hips up around the ears. Little stretch. Straighten the legs. And go ahead and hollow it out. All the way down. Bring the hands on the back of the neck. Gently pull the neck forward. And go ahead and relax back. Baby feet together, knees apart. And rest.